Here I've got cheese, condiments, heavy cream, nuts, butter, avocado, and olive oil. Which one is the problem child? All of them. It really depends on the person, but I've seen all of these be an issue for people on their health journey. I'm Lillie. I'm a certified nutrition health coach, and recently I've been seeing a lot of speed bumps, if you will, with my clients on their weight loss journey. And so in today's video, we are going to cover 3 healthy habits that silently cause people to gain weight, starting with number 1, overeating healthy foods. For example, with cheese, someone may sprinkle a little bit on their eggs at breakfast, add some to their salad, eat a string cheese snack, put some on their beef, melt some on their broccoli, and by the end of the day, they've had like 500 calories in cheese. Now, cheese can be healthy. It's a great source of calcium, protein, it has lots of nutrients, but even healthy things can add up. So many times when I first meet a client, I'll ask them to share with me what they eat in a day. Now at first, they say, I don't eat that much. For breakfast, I have 2 eggs, 2 slices bacon. For lunch, I have chicken and salad. And for dinner, I have 4 ounces of beef. I don't know why I'm gaining weight, Lillie, when I'm eating so little. And then I start asking, what did you cook your eggs in at breakfast? Oh, I cooked them in avocado oil. Did you drink any coffee? I added a couple tablespoons of heavy cream in my coffee. What did you have with your chicken? Oh, I put some butter on my chicken, and I forgot to mention that I added some olive oil on my salad for salad dressing. Did you have any snacks? Oh right, I had some nuts. And then for dinner, I put some cheese on my beef. And so slowly I start pulling out like an additional 1,000 calories of just small things that they weren't even thinking of. Often people are just having a small amount, like a little bit of heavy cream, a little bit of barbecue sauce, a little bit of guacamole, but these are still things being eaten and not accounted for. I have a wonderful family member who I was trying to help them figure out their meal plan, and I kid you not, when we calculated what they were eating in a day, they were having 800 calories in just condiments. Actually, the reason why I thought to even make this video was because recently I just met a client for the first time and they were like, Lillie, I think I need to cut out nuts. I have them every day. I'll eat pistachios, macadamia nuts, and pecans. And at first I thought, okay, well, I love that instead of having chips, this person's focusing on having single ingredient, real whole foods. However, then I started making their meal plan. Now, usually when I create a meal plan for someone, I don't try to change everything about their diet. I don't try to uproot their life and just, go extreme. Instead, I try to make just the most impactful changes in the beginning and then can add layers over the weeks and over the months. But usually with the meal plan, I'll figure out where their calories should be. Then I'll add the protein in first. With the remaining calories, I'll mix and match the fats and carbs in a way that hits the person's vitamins and minerals with foods that they enjoy and that don't cause them any negatives. For example, avocados are a great source of folate, vitamin K, and potassium. But if someone notices when they have avocados, they have more bloating, stomach pain, and itchy skin, or if avocados are, quite expensive and someone would rather do something else instead of an avocado, then by all means, there are so many different foods and I just mix and match the foods in a way that hits the nutrients they need. So with the individual with the nuts, I was trying to keep some in for them because they enjoy them. I want them to look forward to their meals and they had no negative reactions from having nuts, but I was having a really hard time keeping the calories where I needed them to be, still focusing on hitting that protein. But with the nuts in there, it just wasn't giving me what I needed. I was only able to squeeze in 5 macadamia nuts, 5 pistachios, and 5 pecans. It's like 200-ish calories, and I still wasn't quite getting the vitamins and minerals where I wanted them to be. Now, firstly, who's eating 5 pistachios? That's like 1 bite. But then on top of this, by sacrificing the 200 calories there, instead, someone could have 3 eggs for that same amount of calories and get way more vitamins and minerals out of those 3 eggs than out of the smallest amount of nuts. All this to say, I don't think that these foods are unhealthy. I think they can totally be healthy, but the small amounts of them can add up. This leads to the second totally healthy habit that can lead to weight gain, which is not tracking your food. I don't track my food daily. I don't have the time for it, nor do I think people would have to track their food long term. I don't think that our ancestors were whipping out calorie calculators. They were just listening to their hunger cues. However, our ancestors also weren't exposed to the foods that we're now exposed to. I absolutely think the goal should be able to one day eat intuitively, listen to your body, follow your hunger cues, but for a lot of people, they've been eating the wrong kinds of foods for years or for decades, that now it's harder to just trust hunger cues. Their hormones may be out of balance. They may have been cutting calories, dieting, restricting, being in a starved state, not getting proper nutrition. Their metabolism may be very slow. The majority of us did try to eat intuitively, and it led us to gaining weight. My body is craving chocolate cake. I'm gonna listen to my body, and that's where I think that eating intuitively has sometimes done more harm than good for people. Now, for people who are eating healthy foods, then I think that even for them, sometimes it can be hard to listen to their body because, like we just talked about, people could be overeating healthy foods, but I actually find that more people undereat healthy foods because when they're having more protein and more fiber, they tend to get so full that they end up eating very little. They're having like 1,200 calories in a day, and now their body is still not getting proper nutrition. So I think just like how none of us knew how to automatically drive a car, we had to learn how to use the windshield wipers, check the rear mirror, parallel park. We had to practice driving a car that now it's automatic. We just get in the car and we go. We don't even think about it. Well, similarly, I think that the practice of tracking food can teach people how to create solid meals. You'd be surprised how many times I have clients who they track their food for a month, and by the end of it, they go, I lost weight by just being able to see I'm low in protein. I'm having too much sugar. I need more vitamin D. I think weighing food and tracking food brings about more awareness, and with more awareness, you can take more strategic action versus just winging it and hoping to see results without putting as much thought into it. I would watch this video right here. I intentionally made it to help you guys know how to create a meal plan, and then I would track my food for a month. Figure out some staple meals that you enjoy. Maybe you find 2 different breakfast options, 4 different lunches, you create 10 different dinners that you can rotate, and that way you don't have to track your food. You already put in the work to know that these are really solid staple meals that you can rely on. If you ever experience headaches, leg cramps, heart palpitations, muscle cramping, fatigue, low energy, and you feel overall dehydrated, then check out Element Electrolytes, who is today's video sponsor. They've got really clean electrolytes with no artificial food dyes, no colors, no high fructose corn syrup, and they have the science-backed ratios of sodium, potassium, and magnesium that can help our cells stay more hydrated and can help our heart health. I personally have been drinking Element for several years now. I just rip open a packet, throw it in my water or milk, even my yogurt. I put it in avocados sometimes, and it's just a really convenient packet that you can take with you to work, take it traveling, where you can just add that mixture into some water to get those essential minerals we need for our hydration. You can get 8 free packets of Element's most popular flavors with any order using the link in the video description or by going to drinkelement.com/Lillie Kane. They also offer a money-back guarantee. So if you try it and you don't like it, you can get your money back. The final healthy habit that causes people to gain weight is socializing, which I know in the blue zones where the longest lived people are found, they have really strong social ties that contribute to their longevity. They're spending time around friends, family, they're building community. But, there's 2 sides to every coin. And if you've heard of the phrase before, you are the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with.
Watch who you hang around with, because you're going to become who you hang around with. And so if all your friends are sitting and doom scrolling all day long and don't have any ambition, you can pretty well be assured that 10 years from now, you're going to look just like who you hang around with. Tons of research that shows that not only your physical condition, the words you use, the books you read, the movies you like, you become who your crew is. And so pick them carefully
Now, considering 67% of US adults don't exercise, 75% are overweight or obese, and over 60% of food consumed in the US is ultra-processed foods, it's pretty likely you're hanging out with someone who isn't prioritizing their health. Now, this doesn't mean that we should judge people who aren't prioritizing their health. It doesn't mean that we should be mean or rude to them. It's just I don't want to spend the majority of my time around people who want to drink, go out to eat, let's chill, come on, let's watch Netflix, let's have some pizza over here, dude. And I totally understand that people have childhood friends. And again, I'm not saying that you can't hang out with them from time to time, but if all of my friends were going to jump off a cliff, I'm not going to follow them. And if they're going to eat more processed foods, drink alcohol, not exercise, then I'm also not going to follow that. Just because nowadays a lot of people partake in those activities doesn't make it normal. I think people have a really hard time being alone, including myself. But at this point in my life, I'd rather be alone than be around people who are bringing me down. And this doesn't just apply to health, but also I don't want to spend a lot of time around people who are constantly cussing, swearing, gossiping, being negative, have a poor mindset, have low ambition, who are bringing me down, who have bad spending habits. I want to spend my time around people who are bringing me up, making me feel really good, and I want to live my healthiest, happiest life. And if you do too, come on, jump on the train, let's go, subscribe, but if not, that is totally okay. I will still be loving, kind, and respectful to those people. I'm just not going to, again, we only have so much time in the day, so I want to spend it in like the most joyful, uplifting way. If you'd like help on your health journey, there's a link in the video description to my one-on-one coaching. I hope you guys have a happy day, and I'll see you soon.